everyone, so today I tried chile rellenos without the egg coating on the exterior of the chile, just straight into the sauce. Now I got this recipe from the Rancho YouTube channel, and I'll link it down below because I feel like they do such a good video and they make it look really easy, but when you're trying it at home it can be a little bit difficult, and that's why I did this video, because I want to learn from my mistakes and maybe help somebody along the way. Also kind of record the quantities that I use and tell you if it went right or it went terribly wrong. Now I feel like I overcooked my chile relleno sauce. You can tell by the thickness of it, and it almost kind of started to burn. So I want you to watch this video just to learn from it and watch the original to see what it's supposed to look like. So first of all, the chilies. I've got this method kind of down. You know, you have to blister up these chilies. I've used a cast iron skillet. I use a non-stick pan, and they all blister them up, but I find that there's still some areas on the chilies, sort of that concave area, that will not blister up no matter how hard I try. And I want to try another method next time, straight onto the stove top rather than on a pan. But anyway, so you put them in a bag to sweat, and after sweating and sitting in there for 20 minutes, you peel off the skin. Now, I thought that this method was going to work really well, and it kind of did and it kind of didn't. I didn't blister it enough around, and I still had problems getting rid of that exterior skin. Also, the areas that I charred really well, they also will tear the chili when you're trying to peel it, and you can tell right now in a second when I take off this chunk. See, whoops, the skin came off. So you want to find a good medium and make sure it's charred all the way around. The bag method does help in making them sweat and helping to peel certain areas better than I had tried previously to put them in a bowl. So once that's done, you can go ahead and clean them out. I suggest using a spoon because the seeds will stick to your fingers, and it makes it just easier just to kind of scoop them out with a spoon than with your hands. After that, I stuffed them with a cheese. All I had was shredded cheese again, and like I've said before, straight blocks of cheese can be wedged in better. So the sauce, guajillo chilies, I actually found them at Publix, so you can pretty much find them locally. They're not hard to find in the US, and I thought they were really hot, but they're actually not. I used one just for this recipe to test out because I was scared it was going to be too hot, but it wasn't. I feel like I could use the 4 that she uses in her recipe originally. Now I put them in water to boil, and this is just a little bit of water, and it does change in texture from the stiff chili to a soft chili and turns your liquid kind of an orangey color, and you will need that liquid for the sauce as well. So in the skillet with the chilies, I had 6 tomatoes, a little bit of onion, and 1 clove of garlic, and I roasted them on the skillet. Now that's going to go into my blender. And I feel like the quantity of tomatoes was not enough for this. I feel like I have really tiny tomatoes and would use maybe 1 or 2 tomatoes more next time. Now this is the chili. You can see it's softened up. And I go ahead and I put that in there. And the liquid is also going to be put in there for flavor. And I decided to try 1 cup of the liquid. So you didn't see me measure it out, but that's exactly 1 cup. And I brought it to the 2-cup line on my blender. So then you add water as well, and I decided to add 1 cup, and I feel like I added a little bit too much liquid to this. I feel that my ratio of tomato to liquid was completely off. So that's one thing to maybe consider, maybe decrease the amount of water and just make it maybe to the 2.5 or 3 cup line. Rather, I believe it's like 3.5 cups in my blender, and it was just too much liquid. Now I found this cream that said crema at the store, and I thought I'd use it, and I decided to add 1 cup. I pretty much knew the second that I added that it was too much cream, because once I blend it up, the color of my sauce is no longer red but pink. Now I went ahead and I add a dash of salt. Don't forget that salt, you really need it for flavoring. So you can see that it's a light pink, and it should have been a redder color. So I feel the ratios of tomato cream could have been adjusted. Also, I don't know if she's using sour cream or this type of cream, but I'm going to try sour cream next time for sure and decrease the quantity. So on the stove, it with some vegetable oil, I grilled up some onions because Chile Rellenos always has grilled onions in the sauce. So I did that. There is no garlic. There's just onion. And I went ahead and poured my sauce in, hoping it would turn maybe a bit of a color red, but it was kind of orangey looking. So like I said, too much cream, and not sure if I used the right cream and should have used sour cream instead, but definitely would decrease the amount of cream next time. Then I placed my chiles in there, and I like that they were face up this time so that the cheese didn't pour out. I think it's harder when you have the coating batter because you kind of lose placement of where that opening is. I still like to use toothpicks just because, like I said, I'm using shredded cheese. It could easily fall out of the chili. So I decided to go ahead and leave this cooking for 20 minutes in a low heat because it was boiling at this point, and I was supposed to bring it to a boil. So I did decrease it down to like a low medium and 20 minutes, and I think that was too long. I mean, you can tell that my sauce really thickened up, and if I scrape the bottom of the pan, you can see it almost started to burn, but it wasn't burned. So lessons learned, maybe don't leave it in for 20 minutes. Try more tomatoes next time, less cream, and definitely trying sour cream. But it was good. It was a good dish to do.